This week, I am in the throes of celebrating America's 250th birthday. It is so exciting and happy 4th of July to everybody. What a cool holiday that we get to celebrate this weekend. And I'm so glad I get to celebrate with my family. We're going to a neighbor's party this evening, and tomorrow night we're going to go see a big fireworks display and celebrate and do all the fun things, which is culminating the end of a really fun week that we got to have as a family. We took our first little vacation, and my mom came into town and she took us to the Kansas City Great Wolf Lodge. And so the girls got to spend 3 days just having so much fun and riding the water slides and just being kids again for a little bit. And we had some moments that were just absolutely joy filled, just laughing and riding the slides and just being present. But we also had some, moody teen moments as well. Three of my four daughters are teens, and the fourth one is not far behind. And so I'm more and more just getting exposed to these moments where the girls are just pushing away and really finding their own independence and wanting to do things apart from the family and find their identity, like who they are outside of just being a member of our family, which is a very normal, healthy, and typical thing for them to go through. But of course, it is during this time as they're maturing as teenagers and, you know, narrowing down and getting closer and closer to eventually launching into the world that we as parents start to worry. There's so much more that we want to teach them and share with them and communicate with them. But the unfortunate reality is that they don't always necessarily want to sit down and share with us and talk with us. And more, I'm having these experiences where I ask my girls what's going on, and I get that oh so famous response of nothing, and with a little eye roll that goes along with it, which is so challenging. And so I have this trick that I use. I don't even remember where I got it from. And I started when the girls were much older. And it's one of those things that has kind of come in and out of vogue in my family. There are definitely seasons when we need it more than others. But it is this amazing tool that I give my girls. And I give them a notebook, and each of them has one that they can share with me. And they are allowed to write in this notebook anything, any questions that they have for me, anything that they want to share with me, any anger or frustrations, or even any things that they need to confess. They can put it in this notebook, and the rules of the notebook. So they write it in the notebook, and then they leave the notebook on my pillow. And then that night when I'm going to bed, I will get it, I read through it, and then I will write a response. And then the next day, while they are out of the house, either at school or in the summer, doing whatever they're doing, I will at some point get it back to their pillow. And then they can read through my response. And we can go back and forth as many times as they need to. And the rules for this notebook is that they will never get in trouble for what they write in the notebook. And unless they say it's okay, we don't ever have to talk about it. Because what I have found with my kids, and it's probably fairly universal, is that talking about things can feel really overwhelming. It can feel too scary, too intimidating. They're worried about how I'm going to react, if I'm going to yell, if I'm going to be disappointed, what's going to be that look on my face. And just saying something out loud is too much for them to handle. But there's something really powerful that happens when they have permission to write anything and just share it with me. And now I get all sorts of things in these notebooks. Sometimes I get confessions. Sometimes I get things like, yep, it was me who took that last cookie, or who took my sister's whatever. Sometimes I just get raw emotion. I'm angry, I'm hurting, I'm mad, I'm sad. Sometimes I get stories about bullying and other experiences that my kids are having that I don't see, that I don't know about, that they don't want to share and talk about out loud, but they want me to know. And then I can write back to them and love them and support them and guide them and encourage them. And most importantly, then I know what and how to pray for them specifically. And like I said, sometimes these will open up conversations where once it's on paper and then they know that I'm not freaking out about it, then we're able to talk about it. But sometimes it just stays on the paper And all it's really doing is making sure that my kids know that at all times, no matter what is going on, they have access to share with me in a non-threatening sort of way. And it's been really, really beautiful in my family. And so, as long as your kids are old enough to be writing cohesive sentences, I don't think that they're too young to do this. I think we started when my oldest was maybe 7 or 8. And like I said, it's not a constant thing. It's not like we do it every single day, every single night. It's when we need it. And I can a lot of times just use my mom intuition and remind one of my girls, like, hey, don't forget we have that notebook. If you need to use it, it's there. And then all of a sudden, I'll get another note here and there. And it's a beautiful way to just keep those channels of communication open. And so if you're looking or in need of something like that in your family, I'd like to encourage you to try to implement that. And if it works out, please let me know. I'd love to hear how your journey is going with your kiddos. That's all I have for you this week. I'm Maria Riley, just a sinner in the throes of trying to be a saint.